Perfect. Well, thanks so much, Rosario, for having me on this call. I am super excited. I was just chatting with you about, I don't do morning team calls, but I actually think that they're a great idea. So I'm not quite awake yet, but I was kind of going through. I mean, you just asked me last night to kind of do this call, and I've just been kind of thinking, where do you start? Blogging is a whole other world. It is a very intimidating world to get into. I have a journalism and communications background, so for me, like blogging was always something that I kind of did. If you find yourself kind of that person who is making spaghetti and you're taking a picture of the pasta box, and then you're taking a picture of the noodles, and then the sauce, and then you're taking a picture of the final plate. Like if you kind of find yourself doing that, then you probably should have a blog. If you're the kind of person that's really not into taking photos and you really don't know how to kind of tell a story with words, you can absolutely learn because any skill is learnable, but it might be a bit more of a learning curve. But blogging is honestly for everybody, but it takes a certain person to start it because literally 2 days ago, my blog just crashed. I've been doing it for 2 years, and I finally got to the point where I could go in there, get my pictures done. I could write a blog in 20 minutes, have it up, and it was awesome. And now I have to start, hopefully not from scratch, because I literally have been, oh my goodness.
What was that?
That was really
It was the candle.
Oh.
Oh, are you okay? Oh, that's so scary.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Are you okay? Everybody all right?
Everybody, Alejandra, are you okay?
Where are you going, doctor?
To the other side, though.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I can see now, but I lost my.
We can't see you. We
I
can't
don't know
see you.
why. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
Okay, but I can hear you. It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay. Well, as long as you're okay. Okay. So now where was I? So my blog crashed. 2 years. I had it up and running, and it was awesome. Here's the thing. If you weren't passionate about your blog, I probably would have just been like, whatever, I tried it, and that's it. I was like, no, I'm going to find my blog back. I'm going to get on the back end with these like developers, and I'm going to find those files because they're there somewhere, because nothing really is truly lost online. It takes a long time to find it, but if you're persistent, blogging will be for you. Okay, so
Did you find your blogs?
So I found these things called FTP files, and I have basically your blog, and I'll tell you how it all works, but basically it's, well, we might as well just start, and then I'll tell you how I found my blog and everything. Okay, so basically a blog starts with 3 basic elements. So basically you need to have a domain, first of all. That's your www.whatever, okay? Then you need a platform, which would be either WordPress or Blogger. Now, I know lots of Beachbody coaches have Blogger. I personally use WordPress because it is the gold standard. So Blogger is awesome, that's fine, but personally I use WordPress because it's just, it is the best. So I wanted to kind of briefly mention, when you see the places and they're kind of like, you could start a blog for 15 minutes and, it's free and it looks amazing. And literally it's, a lot one is called Wix, I think it's called, and they look great and you just feel so wonderful about your blog. It took you half an hour. That kind of is like renting a dress, and you're putting on the dress and you are in the dress. But when you have to leave every night and go home, and a dress has to stay in that store, that content you put up there is never really your own. It is, but they can move it. They can do things. So, I mean, the whole purpose of a blog is to kind of rank on Google and stuff like that. And I am not like Miguel. I am certainly no tech person, and I don't know all the crazy lingo. But I can explain to you in like a mom version. I can explain to you how it kind of works. So if you get one of those easy, free things, you're renting that real estate type deal thing, okay? If you start with WordPress or Blogger, you are actually owning that content. So like me, I've switched hosts now, but I can pack up my files and I can move. With those other ones, the way I get it is you can't really do that much with it, okay? It's kind of like, so that's kind of what I understand. It could be wrong, my brother explained to me, but that's kind of why I went with the actual gold standard WordPress.
So
okay.
WordPress, it's still free?
It's still free, but it's not, we'll get into how much it's going to cost you, okay? So basically you need your domain, okay? So www. So you're going to go to somewhere like GoDaddy. I'm just going to tell you the ones I use. So GoDaddy is where you go for your domain. So you're going to go to GoDaddy and it's going to say search your domain and see if it's available. So you're going to put whatever your idea is. It's going to say, yes, it's available. Awesome. So that's your domain. Okay. So then you need to have your platform, which is going to be either WordPress or Blogger or whatever it is. So then you're going to go and you're going to create that with WordPress, and that is free. Yes. But then in order to have that like actual template, so you go on there and it's blue, or they got the banner and they got the video and it's basically all the ingredients together, those you can get free. And I start off with free ones, but they look free unless you're like amazing at a web designing. They kind of like it doesn't look pretty. So you can search on Google, like you can go to Etsy, or you could go to like Google or whatever, and you can just search free child themes or 3 templates for my WordPress blog. And I think my one I use right now, it was like $14. They're really cheap. So and I've switched them honestly like 4 or 5 times. So, they range from about, $8 to about $40, for this theme. Now, how a theme works is you buy this theme and you think, oh, I'm going to install it, and it's going to look like it does when they sell it to you. But you have to understand that they're giving you the ingredients, okay? They're giving you everything. They're not giving you that finished cake. So when you install it in your WordPress, it's not going to come out pretty. You're not just going to be able to plug in your photos and call it a wonderful day. So it is a lot of work still. So what I use is this place called Fiverr. Do any of you use that?
No. What is it?
I never spell it right, Bev. It's either Fivver or it's Fiverr. I think it's with the 2 R's, Fiverr.com. Mm-hmm. It is a place where you can literally go and buy so many different crazy things for $5. And a lot of it is like media stuff. So say you had a picture and you wanted the background made white, but you don't know how to use Photoshop, you could pay somebody $5, they'll do it really quickly. Say you want a professional banner, they'll do it for like that. So they also have things for web design and stuff like that. So I just, through trial and error, find a great guy, and he does my stuff. So say I want to change the font in my blog, that would take me honestly probably 6 hours. I mean, not anymore, but in the beginning, it would take me all day to do that. Mm-hmm. So I just pay him, I give him my login stuff, and I say, hey, can you go change the font? Here's what it is. And so then they go do that. So I would really strongly recommend using Fiverr when you're first starting with your blog, because you will spend all day trying to do the simplest thing, and it will just drive you nuts.
Mm-hmm. As I explained to you, like our group we're in diapers in regard to blogging.
Yes.
Our blog, our Facebook posts, and that's it. So we want to see how to link the Beachbody business with Facebook, with blogging, and make it everything work together, so that we can make the most of this business, right? So,
yes.
This is great. Keep going.
Okay. So tell me if I get too technical for you, and tell me if you want me to go back and reiterate something. Okay. So basically, you have to get your domain. So if you go to GoDaddy, you can get your domain. Then you choose Blogger or WordPress. You've got that. You sign up for free. That's fine. Then you pick your template. So then you can Google that, find however that you want. Then you're going to have to install this template, and that's difficult. I do not know how to do that. So if you have something called Managed WordPress, which is like a package that I got from GoDaddy, and it makes it a lot easier. So for example, like before I had Managed WordPress and I wanted to upload a template, I would go to Fiverr. And I would say, here is the zip file because they give it to you in a zip file of the template. And I would say, can you please install this on my blog? So they would. That's fine. Whatever. Cost me $5. No big deal. But with my Managed WordPress, I think I could probably do it now, because GoDaddy's pretty like, okay, we're doing this now. Isn't this pretty? We're making your blog for you. It's very like modern, and it's like it does it all. Like it just works. So you might be able to figure out. I think it actually has, when you go to GoDaddy settings, it actually has install themes, stuff like that. So you might be able to figure it out. But as I say, for $5, is it worth you spending 2 hours just fiddling around? Probably not. Maybe. But you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's up to you. So then you're going to install that theme. And then once that theme is installed, you're going to like play around with things, and then you're going to notice something like, oh, this doesn't have a banner. I really want a banner. And then you're going to be saying, well, can you just put a banner in for me? And then they're going to say, well, no, like this template has these certain ingredients. You cannot add something to this without going to somebody and hiring them to either install a new theme that has a banner, or for them to write you some code, okay? So what I would suggest is uploading this theme that I use. It's called the WordPress X theme. It's the newest theme. It's the newest rage. And basically, like I've bought in 4 different themes before, and they all have certain ingredients and all limitations. This X theme has everything a kitchen could need. It's like you're stocked for life. It's still difficult. I still don't know how to do it, but I could then go to a developer and say, I want it to look like this. I want a blog up. I want a thing up here. I want this. There's 3 boxes on the bottom, a column here, blah, blah. And they had everything. So it cost me $60. So it's called the WordPress X theme. It's still going to look like nothing when you install it. It won't look like anything. You have to actually build it. But at least you can then go to a theme you like and say, take a screenshot and say, make it look like this. So that's the one I would do, because I've spent so much money on like $30, $40, $50. Oh, this one will work, this one will work, this one will work, and then they just never do it, right? Mm-hmm. So my husband's like, oh, another theme, what are you doing? I'm like, but it's not the right one. So I would say use the X theme and save yourself some money and some problems. Okay, so we kind of got to that point, right? So let's kind of switch gears and let's kind of see, okay, so how is this going to work for your business? How is that going to, how are we going to make a flow? When I first started Beachbody coaching, it would drive me nuts because I felt like I had a tiny funnel of people being able to come to me. You got your Facebook. So Rosario, for example, I saw that you post this thing once in a while. It says cookie dough, Greek frozen yogurt, ice cream thingy. Yeah. That's a great post, and it gets a lot of traction for you. But when you do a great post on Facebook without a blog, it's kind of like dead end. It's like you get this great idea, you're so creative with it, and then you post it out there, and you can maybe rehash it every 6 months, but it's kind of done. So with a blog, you're able to take a great idea and give it a permanent living space. And it's going to take you a while to figure out, there's a course called The Power of Pinning by Melanie Duncan. And she's great at teaching you how to link things, Pinterest and your blog and stuff like that. So I won't go into that because I don't even understand it all to myself. But that's a great program to do. I know it costs like $99, whatever, but she does like a free one too. And I just did the free one and it was enough. But so, there's ways to make your content last forever. So let's say you're going on like a coaching recruit and you see this amazing person. You're like, oh, I want them to join my team. But they have never been in a challenge group with you. They don't know anything about you, but they're interested. So, a blog is a great resource to have on hand because you can say, okay, I have, this video I want you to watch, or I have this blog post I wrote on this. I think you would love to read it. So you could send them this thing about your coaching experience, and you could have your application. Do you guys use Wufoo documents?
Oh yeah, the application.
Yeah. So instead of just sending them to a dead-end Wufoo page, it doesn't look so very pretty, you could actually install, if you go onto Wufoo and you look under the share this link, look for the one that says iframe, and then copy that whole code and then put that in your actual post, your blog post. So it will just show up as right on there. It won't be any background or anything like that. So look like it's ready to build the page. So that's a great way to speed up your process because they're able to look at your page, they look at your photos, they kind of get a sense of who you are very quickly versus going back and forth, you know what I mean? So it really does speed up the journey from one side of it. But don't think, and it could, but for me, it's not an immediate revenue source for you. It's not like all of a sudden you're going to post up one, little write-up about 21-day fix and you're going to sell 15 challenge packs. Mm-hmm. You could, if you were really, really, really good at SEO or something, I don't know, that search engine optimization thingy. So for Miguel, obviously, he knows how to write so that Google picks up his blog, right? Mm-hmm. So, if you are able to do that and maybe ask him, some tips and stuff like that, if you're able to do that, then you will get revenue from your blog because you're posting in a certain way. But if you just kind of write a blog post about if you write the way you do for Facebook for a blog, it won't necessarily work. So if you're kind of if you wrote a blog post oh my gosh, best workout ever, I loved it. I went to the grocery store and then I came home and I did my workout. If you kind of talk like that, Google's kind of looking at your words going I don't know what this girl's talking about. Just go on to the next. I don't know what the heck's going on here. So, if you're more specific, so you're going to have to Google search things like writing for blogs, how do you write copy for blogs? Because it's not just a matter of being creative in your blog post. It is because you're going to have to actually almost disguise the fact that you're writing for Google. And so that's where the creativity of the writing comes in. Because if you just mention 21 Day Fix 18 times, your people are going to be like, gosh, this girl just won't be quiet. I don't even want the 21 Day Fix anymore. It's just like all she's talking about. So, you know, you're going to have to get creative in like figuring out what you're going to say, your content. So that comes. You don't have to be a great writer. You absolutely don't. Just be smart about it. If you're going to have a blog and you're going to write copy, then go look at some copy stuff and, you know, do some stuff. I mean, you guys have a fabulous upline. Talk to him, have a team call and ask him, you know, about copy and stuff like that. Please invite me on the call. So that's kind of like where I would say. Yeah, head Beth to extended vacation. That's awesome. So, you know, when you are sharing this great information, you probably have tons of information right now on your Facebook page. So for now, I was just at Leadership with Melanie Mitro, and she was talking about how, you know, she has this kind of like campaign theme for her month. And so what she does is she'll do like a little YouTube video, she'll do a blog post, and everything kind of centers around this, you know, theme. So maybe it's, you know, I don't know, you know, bust through your plateau theme or whatever. So everything kind of goes with it. So when you have a blog post, you know, you won't see a lot of people interacting on it. I mean, I don't have a single comment, right? But it works the other way for me. It works that if I have somebody interested or if I have challengers, instead of sharing somebody else's content, like 25 good recipes. I mean, why would I share somebody else's content when I can just as easily go to the Beachbody blog, look at their things. Maybe they have 50 great recipes. I'll take 10 of them, and then I'll do it my own picture, and I'll do a blog post. So, you know, you can really work with the Beachbody blog and really get their ideas from it and glean their information from it. And then, you know, because sometimes it's hard to come up with what you want to say. So, you know, with that in mind, getting a schedule, you know, Melanie says to post about 2 to 3 times a week. So can you handle a blog right now? Are you getting Success Club? Are you just building your team? Are you dabbling in 4 to 5 different social media platforms? You know, do you have a little bit of Instagram going on? You have a little bit of Pinterest? You're kind of doing Facebook? You're kind of doing this? Do you have time to take 2 to 3 times a week to do a blog post? You know, it's something to think about, because, you know, you could just start it, and you don't have to start it perfectly. And I mean, it's your business. You can do however you want. But it just shows, research shows that if you blog consistently, just like Facebook, all of these social media platforms are the same. You must be consistent for them to mean anything to the internet, right? So maybe taking, you know, for me, because I loved having a blog, you know, I did Facebook mainly, and I did YouTube mainly. Those are my 2 sources. But I loved writing, and I loved the idea of having a blog. So it was kind of my hobby passion project. So I would give myself Sundays, and I was like, every Sunday I can write a blog post. And sometimes it would take me 4 days to write a single blog post in the beginning. But now it's like 20 minutes if I can get my site back. Blah, 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 done, you know? So, I mean, it's a great way for you to share. So now when I do that fabulous post like Rosaria does with that cookie dough ice cream thing, then now I just pop it in there, because that's like little tidbits. Not every single blog post has to be totally, you know, optimized for, you know, you want to do some for content to share with people. Do you have a question, Lovely?
Yes, I have one. So do you transfer the content from your blog to your other social media platforms, or you're using your blog just for specific reason?
Okay.
Or you think all of them together? Like,
I think, okay, remember that funnel? Remember that funnel I was talking about? You want to be able to have people come from you from all different ways, and to open the funnel so that you have multiple ways for people to come to you, right? So I will post a blog, and then I will share that blog to Facebook. So I'll say a little bit, and I'll say, hey, here are, so, you know, when you say to people, put your email below or comment below for the recipe, well, you could post a link to your blog, and then you could have a little pop-up thing that says Rosario's weekly recipes handed out, and so enter your email here. So you're collecting the email on a larger scale, right?
Okay.
So you could share your blog to Facebook. So you could write a post and you could say, for the full recipe, go here. Because remember, on Facebook, they may or may not go into your photos, but on a blog, it's their calm, quiet space where they can take their time and they can decide if they want to look at your Shakeology or your next challenge or your coaching. And maybe they just go there for the recipe and then they just discover a whole Beachbody world. Mm-hmm. So you can bring it you can write the blog post and bring it from to Facebook. You can bring them from Facebook to your blog. So if you have like an application for like a challenge group or something like that, and you want to increase, so you could just have your regular join my challenge group, post below for information, however you do that. Or you could do that, then the next day or two, you could have a softer invite saying, hey, everybody in my 21-day fix group has loved this recipe. Here you go. And then bring them to your blog. And then underneath that recipe might be another invitation to the challenge group. So they really do work hand in hand. It's not specifically a certain route. It's just that a little bit here, a little bit there, it all adds up versus one medium. If you're just doing Facebook, it's very, very, very overwhelming, and it's very frustrating because you just have to wait for them, right?
Yeah. So for the content, do you use the same criteria, like the 5 things that make you unique? Is that what you blog about, or like what's your approach on that?
I think that there's different kinds of blogs. I think that if you go to Miguel's blog, his is more like corporate. His is more boy. You know what I mean? Like it's very like, it's a guy's blog. When you go to like Scotty Hobbs or you can just tell they're guys, right? That's a guy's blog. If you go to somebody's
like
blog,
you.
Yeah, it's more, or like, like it's more girly. It's more, obviously I'm a mom. I'm sharing more recipes. I might have some beauty tips and stuff like that. I'm really sharing more me. So it's my space. So I don't follow like certain thingies. If you look at my blog as a total, I will have, my, invites, and I will have Shakeology, but it's up to the person to decide what they want to do. With that said, you can use backlinking, and backlinking is if they go to your Shakeology page and they're reading about Shakeology, you can say a little thing like, I love Shakeology. It helped me, blah, 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 blah. In my challenge groups, I also offer Shakeology. And then you would highlight challenge groups and you would link that word, challenge group, to your challenge group page, so that person is reading it and they're like, oh, what's the challenge group? They click on the challenge group. It brings them further into your website. So now they can read. So you don't leave anything up for the imagination. So say you're talking about Shakeology again. You go blah, 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 blah. I like to use mine with stevia and almond milk. So then people are like, well, what's stevia? So then highlight stevia, write a blog post on stevia. What is stevia? So the name of the game is to get somebody to stay as long as they can and to go as deep into your website as you can. And Google really likes it when they go deep. So if you can provide as much, so they're only going there for Shakeology, but now they have the option to read about my fit tips. They have the option of reading about a meal plan. You know what I mean? They have so many options. Mm-hmm. So did I clarify it like that?
Yeah. So when you're saying your website, you mean you have another website beside Beachbody, or are you?
Okay. So now you want to know, how do you get somebody to say, if you had that button, buy now, 21-day fix, you want to know how do you get them from that to your Beachbody website? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I want to see, like, if you write a good blog about, hey, I'm doing amazing, like, I'm running this challenge group, and then to get some attention, to get people all the way from reading your post, your blog, to buying a challenge pack. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? How would you do the flow?
Well, it depends on like what attracts people to you right now? Like what is the main thing? I think coaches have 2 kind of things usually, each coach. What is the main thing? Is it your results? Is it your personality? Like, what brings people to you? Like, what are the main things they say to you when they come to you? Maybe it's a transformational video. Maybe it's your actual transformation. Maybe it's your motivational posts. Maybe they just see you as a mom. Maybe they're a friend of you. So what is it that they're doing? For me, it's my transformational video. So on my blog, right next to every single page is my transformational video. That video sells everything I do. So that video goes top of everything I do. So they're reading Shakeology. They watch my video. They're like, well, whatever she did, I'll do. So that's the thing, that's the benefit, because it worked for me. So it's not just me going blah, 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 Shakeology. It's like, wow, this girl got some killer results. And I don't know about you, but when I was first getting into Beachbody, that's what intrigued me to try Shakeology, because I was Googling transformational videos. And I saw this girl who I related to, and she had a killer transformation. And I was like, what did she do? Like, show me what to do and I will do it, right? Mm-hmm. So it gives it. So that's kind of what I did, but that works for me. But it might not be a transformation. You could have had a very little transformation. Maybe it's on the side, or maybe it's somewhere in your blog you have my about story. So somebody like Lindsay Matway, who has this, heart-wrenching financial transformation. So maybe that's where you connect to her and you're like, wow, this girl's really inspiring, So some way, somehow, you have to provide them you. And it's not you in words. It's you versus a video or your about me story, or maybe it's just your photos. Like Rosario, you have darling photos. You're always very like animated and cute. You're very likable just from your photos. So maybe they're just like, wow, she's a busy, fit mom. I like her. I'd like to have some more energy and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily this big overt thing that you have to do. Mm-hmm. It's just you, right? So that's what I would say. I would say it's, steer away from more of like, I have to have 5 things on my page at all times. It's not really like that. It's like your blog is your time to just be you, I find, right?
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. And so by backlinking something in your post, in your blog, then how do you link that to your challenge, to a link for them to buy something?
Okay, so those coaching codes that you have, if you're going to send somebody a coaching code? Okay, so what you're going to do is when you write a blog post, at the top, there's this thing that's called your kitchen sink. And it basically is things like, make this bigger font, link this to something, add a photo. So there are these options. You're going to highlight a word. So say it says 21-day fix, or say you make a button and you go insert image, it's your button image, and then you click on that button and you say, I want to link this image to something. So what you do is you just, you're so intent on getting the answer. You're so cute. I love it.
We're like all taking
notes. This is gold. Oh my gosh.
Doing it again. This is awesome. You guys.
Okay. So you just go to your coaching code, copy and paste whatever your 21-day fix link is. There will be, when you click on that link button, there's going to be space for you to post the URL. It says enter link URL. It might be different in whatever platform you use. But basically, you just put it in there, and that's it. It just goes right to your Beachbody, because if you use those coaching codes, the same ones that you send someone for a challenge pack, whatever, those go right to your website. So that's all you have to do. Somehow just, okay, this is going to end in 10 minutes. That's all you have to do is just post that code, and put it in there, and you're good to go. So that's pretty much it. That's what I would say. I don't really go, lots of people have their whole fit shop. So they'll have every single program. Lots of people will have, everything, like they'll divide into supplements, and, they'll have all the Beachbody stuff. Totally up to you. I didn't really have that many. I just kind of featured the challenge pack I was doing at the time. I didn't really have, my main goal was to really get them back to my Facebook. It's kind of funny because you have a blog, you want more than Facebook, but then you honestly want them back to Facebook so that you can actually talk to them. So it's kind of like this, like, come here, come back, come here, come back kind of game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it depends. I know some people who just do all of their sales via their blog. So it depends if you have that person.
What about you? Like, how effective has been for you blogging?
So if you're looking at, like, do I get my Success Club points from my blog? No, I do not. I get my Success Club points because I have created enough pots that somehow they all lead back to me, and so my video, I do a little bit of everything, honestly. So I make sure I have good content on my Facebook page. I do Facebook ads for my like page. But I only do them periodically. So I did them for about 3 months, and then I stopped, and then I take the 3 months to nurture them all because it's so many people. So I find I'll do 3 months, I stop, then I nurture them, and then do 3 months, I stop, and nurture them.
Okay.
So that kind of thing, and so that I'm not always constantly paying because I want to recover my costs for those ads, right? So I do the Facebook ads. I have my video up on my like page. I have my blog where I can, somebody messages you and they're not ready for a challenge. Oh, I don't have any money right now, blah, 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 blah. you don't want to like send them away with nothing. Like you feel sorry. Of course you want to help them. She's like a single mom. Of course you want to help her. So instead of you being like, oh, here's a random thing I pulled from somewhere, you could set up a page and it could be like, here's my, you know, meal plans that I'm giving away for free, or here are 6 recipes I would love to share with you. So then send them to your blog, and then you have something to give to somebody, and that value in turn will return to you, because it's not, for me, it's not immediate. It's how much value can I offer over a long, consistent period of time multiplies. Where now, like last month, I got like Success Club 20 something, not like crazy, but I didn't feel like I worked for that. Do you know what I mean? It just kept coming in, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't feel like I have to pound the pavement anymore. And that's what it was like for so long when I just had Facebook. It was like every month was like, oh gosh, we're starting from zero again. Okay. Yeah. You know, so you want to take that. And that was what drove me to my blog and to Pinterest and to my YouTube video and to doing all these different things, because I was like, I don't want to struggle. You know, the whole point of Beachbody is to end my struggling days. I don't want to struggle. I want to have enough of a flow that people come to me, and that's it. Like people who get very, very high Success Club points are people who have opened that funnel somehow. You know, it's not necessarily that they're better than you or they're worse or they're doing something especially magical in their talking. I mean, you have to get good to talk to people, that's fine. But, you know, it's a matter of opening up that sales funnel. So I hope that's been helpful. I know that you could talk a million years about blogging, but do you kind of feel like you kind of have an idea of where to start?
Exactly.
How to kind of
use exactly what we got from today. I think I'm gonna open. If you guys have any questions, please raise your hand. But like it's great that we just have a nice introduction from somebody that's really successful at this and it's making it work. And so it's like everything from now on. It's like you take it as a project. If you want to blog, that is a great option, so that you're not just depending on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever. It is another source for us. So Alejandra, I'm gonna unmute you and then you can ask your question.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, candle face, okay, that I just brought in. I want to say that first. I have a question. How do you make your videos transformations? Because it's been so attractive to people. When I just posted 2 days ago my transformation from Insanity Max.
Okay, I'm sorry. So what did the first bit of your question? You kind of cut out a little bit. What was the first question?
How did you make your video transformation?
Oh, my transformation video. Okay. Do you have a PC or do you have a Mac?
PC.
A PC. Okay. Yeah. So the PC uses Windows Movie Maker. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So go to your PC Movie Maker, and here's the secret sauce to a transformational video. Okay. Have you guys seen my transformational video? There's a couple.
No, I would like to see you. Where is it?
Awesome.
Okay. So basically what I did is I took before footage of me not being able to do a sit-up, and then I did, you know, I split the screen. So I have me, you know, live and then me after kind of thingy. I didn't do that for my first one. For my first one, it was really, really, really great too. But I think what it was is that I told a story. Do you know what I mean? I really used emotion in it. So if you're going to be, for my first one, it's very basic. It's like, I open up with like, I was, upset, I was depressed, blah, blah. You have to remember who's watching this video. When I was looking for these videos, I was so upset and I was so in a bad place that I was like, my gosh, I have to get my body and my life back. I feel like I'm at the very bottom. Okay. So that was me. So I remember that feeling, and I remember like what videos stood out to me. They were the ones that, number one, they had a great piece of music. Music that really, really, really worked with me, okay? And so then they always start, and they have the before pictures. And then they have little tiny bits of texts like, it was hard every day, I wasn't going to give up. It's not going to be easy. It was not a quick, whatever it was for your story, tell a great story, use that music. And then it's a matter of, it took me hours and days and weeks and months to do my video. It did not take one afternoon. I played with the music. It took so long. And then you have to get every single transition perfectly in time with the music. So if you have slow, quiet, and then you have this big bam, well then you should have that picture of you being there in that moment so that people just are like there with you. So if you can really, really, really take the time and really find out, you could maybe not even have that big of a transformation, but what are you saying to them that is relating to them? It can't be about you in your video. It has to be about them. So use things instead of saying, I, blah, 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 I, being like, I know you're tired. I know that it is time for you to change, kind of thing like that. Doing stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be much text. It really doesn't. It's just the powerful placement of the photos. And so really take it seriously and know that if you spend the time and make one amazing video, it could really work. And also know that little things I only have 2 minutes, but when I first did my video that really works for me, nobody watched it and it was a flop because I had the wrong thumbnail on it and I had the wrong intro. It wasn't until I said something like, I posted on the Facebook and I didn't post it via YouTube. I just actually downloaded it, into Facebook. I had to play around with it. I had to change little tiny things, just like P90X was a flop. So, if it's not working and you have faith, I was like, no, this video rocks. Like, why is it not working? So have faith with it and, change things, little things, and it'll work. It'll work.
Yeah. Awesome. Anybody else have a question? No, I am. No, I just want to thank you, Jessica, so much for taking this role.
Anytime.
I'm sure there's going to be, I'm going to post your transformation video in our page, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So that we can all start working on different things. It's amazing how we never finish to learn things, hey? Like you're still good at blogging and everything, but like you're still not comfortable and you still want to learn. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and take a selfie. Loretta, you're back in time. Selfie. Ready, set? Okay, so don't say I didn't tell you. And no, it's been a wonderful. This is another way that you guys create relationships. Jessica and I see each other at the big events, right? At the big events, and every time we see each other, it's like we know each other.
Yes.
And because there's a very special kind of link. And I want you guys to embrace going to events. I met her at the first event here in Calgary with Tony Horton. There was Jessica with your little baby boy, right?
Yeah, Hudson, yeah.
yeah, so cute. So that goes like 2 years back, and now it's like, look at you, you're in our team, and it's amazing.
I know, and it was like we met Arnold, and it was Miguel, and it was you, and it was me, and what's her name? Krista? What? Katie? Casey. Yeah, it was all of us.